Bro, I've had the absolute soul reads on Czechia today. It's actually mad. Yo, what's good everyone? It's Zigzag here. Welcome back to another Geoguessr video. Today we are playing some Skewed World, which is a map that always faces you away from the road, making it a lot different to normal Geoguessr maps, in the sense that you can't really work with all those normal road clues. And so Stique recently broke the world record by 3 on this map. I mean, that really does make it a whole lot harder to get this world record, but I've been going for a long time, just chipping away. I think my best so far is like 16 or something like that, so really not too bad. And let's just head in here today and see how many we can get correct. I would like to put up a decent show at least today. And the first one here is not easy. It definitely looks like Indonesia or Philippines, though I can see kind of like the abundance of palms here, some red roofs. Probably feels more Indonesian. Could certainly see Philippines as well, but you know, it's first round, so let's just go quickly here and see. And indeed, it was Sri Lanka. Actually, that makes sense for the red roof. So Indonesia and Sri Lanka often have those tiled roofs, and I guess we were about as close as you can get to Indonesia, so that's my cope for that. Anyway, next one here, I kind of thought of Spain off the bat here. Not really sure though, like it could be a whole bunch of different places. I'm looking at the format of the kind of unblurred license plate here, and I'm not really sure. Regardless, we've got the steering wheel on the left, so it should be a right-hand drive country. And after that, it's not so easy. So yeah, definitely Europe. We got the blue strips, and it's going to be somewhere down here, surely. I can see any of these countries in here working quite nicely as well. But yeah, I'm not really sure. We actually have a bit of red on the plate here as well, which is also quite interesting. Not really sure what that would make me lean. And I just saw a Turkish flag. Sometimes an obvious clue is staring you right in the face, and that happens pretty often to me, and you guys pointed out. But you know, let's go for Bursa here, and it was just in this city here. Very nice. Okay, we're on one. And yeah, there we go. Okay, next one here. What have we got going on? Kind of felt a bit like French or Italian or something. We got wooden poles here, so I'd say French actually works quite nicely here. Sun is to the south, so yeah, I would just go for France here. It's probably right. And it was just over the border in Spain. That part of Spain looks a lot like France in my experience, so not really a surprise. Next one here is Japan, and we definitely like Japan because it's always got that low camera, so it's quite easy to get it correct, although we also get the right region there, which is nice. The next one here is also Japan. We got the low camera again. It's kind of harder to tell in Generation 4, but regardless, this house looks pretty Japanese as well. Now, can we get the right region again? That's the question here. It's kind of more difficult this time. I could even see it being quite south, but I think I'll just go Tokyo here, actually. And it was actually, yeah, Okinawa. I thought the architecture kind of looked like that, but we didn't see any palm trees, so I wasn't quite sure. Regardless, we got 3 out of 5 countries correct, which is a fine strike rate. Let's see if we can improve on that. This one should be New Zealand. Looks like a New Zealand pole with this kind of metallic possum guard. Then we have like kind of a rolling green landscape here, so I would say like somewhere near Hamilton or Auckland should work. And it was just near Tauranga there. Okay, next one here. Yellow inner lines here. That's interesting to me. And we got a black and white striped signpost here. So are we in the UAE? UAE seems pretty good here. I even thought of Sri Lanka, but I really don't think it's actually Sri Lanka. Like seeing a divided highway like this would be kind of strange for there. So what else is actually possible here? I don't know. Yeah, the black and white striped pole should feel pretty good for the UAE. I'm just trying to think of any other country that's actually possible. I don't think it's Peru, but I actually got to explore the possibility. Could this be Peru? Well, the sun is pretty unhelpful here. It's more or less just to our west. And beyond that, we don't have too much. The yellow inner lines is very interesting. That would be more of a Peru thing than a UAE, where they have the yellow lines on the outside. But landscape-wise, I'm really not sure. Then also, I guess Chile is possible as well, but the black and white striped signpost wouldn't really be Chilean. So, not too sure here what's actually better of the two, I must admit. It's not often that I'm in a 50-50 between those two countries, but I feel like it actually is Peru. Just too many trees, probably, for the UAE, in my opinion, overall. I'm not really sure about this pole top for Peru, though. That's kind of strange. Am I missing something here? You know what? Maybe it is just UAE. I seem to remember this kind of pole being in UAE before. I am a little bit weirded out by the yellow lines, but I don't know, it is a lot of trees. I don't know, it's a legitimate 50-50 for me. I'm quite surprised that we've ended up in this situation, but I'm going to try it. I just think it's more likely. And it was, all the way down here. Would not have expected there to be so many trees there, to be honest. But obviously a nice start, we'll take it. Next one here, ooh, this is one of those killer rounds where you just really feel like it's quite unlikely to get it correct. The foliage feels quite Asian, I can say that. We have like a bit of like reddish soil, pinkish soil here. You know, I thought of the Philippines, I thought of Sri Lanka here. maybe even Thailand. I don't know if that would be at all decent. Could even be something else completely. Maybe even, yeah. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different opportunities for what this could be. I still don't mind Sri Lanka, I gotta say. Philippines probably second option here. I don't know, these little bushes kind of remind me of Sri Lanka in a strange way, so I think I'll just go for it here, but I guess we'll find out soon enough where it actually is. And it was Colombia, so at least we didn't go Philippines, because I have a very bad habit on this map of going Philippines on Colombia, and vice versa, so I'm at least pleased we didn't do that. I'm being fully serious right now. If you've watched a bunch of these episodes, you know. This should be USA, could be Canada, we'll see. And it was indeed in Iowa, so that's a nice guess. Next one here, looking a bit more Canadian this time, definitely potential to be Canada. Although, could this just be Argentina? That seems to make more sense, or even maybe Uruguay. Poles would look more Argentinian. We do have a white signpost here, but I think it's Argentina. And the sun is south, so that would... the sun is south. That's interesting. I still think it looks more like Argentina, though, than the USA. So what do I actually do here? If the sun's south, it's very difficult to go for Argentina, of course. So maybe I'm casting my mind the wrong direction here. Not really sure. Yeah, I mean, what do you do here? Like, I don't really see anything else that's actually quite possible here. So, it's really between the US and Argentina. And of the two, it really looks more like Argentina to me. So it's a bit of a strange one. I must admit. Am I missing here something? I don't know. Very curious round in many ways, but I guess I have to go US. The road's really pale in a strange way, so I'm thinking it could actually just be Europe. And now I'm thinking of Greece, actually. You know, we have tall poles like you often get in Greece, and the landscape is definitely more European than it is American. So yeah, I think I would go Greece here. Been a bit of a weird episode so far with these rounds, but I guess we have to go like all the way out here or something like that. Okay, what's Greece? Wow. Got there in the end. I guess I have not played much Geoguessr this week, so that probably explains some of these guesses, but that's okay, because we played rather well in some of those rounds, so I'm fine with it. We're back to 2. This is looking a bit New Zealand-like, or is it just Europe? I can't tell, actually. But this fence feels kind of New Zealand. Could be Chile or Argentina. But don't really feel Argentina. Maybe Chile. New Zealand and Chile often look quite similar, but I have to go New Zealand here. I think that's my first vibe, and it's correct. That's good. It was very flat. Next one here is Qatar or the UAE. I would say UAE because we saw those lights on the last UAE round, so I feel like we just go there again. If it's Qatar, then we make our notes that they have the same lights. Well, let's see, and it was the UAE. Very nice indeed. Okay, next round here. This feels quite... Ooh, I was going to say it looks a lot like the Philippines, but now I'm looking at this roof. This kind of architectural style does remind me a bit of Sulawesi, and the palms do too. So what actually wins here? I still think that it's possible that Philippines is the better guess, but that is kind of a bit Sulawesi architecture to me. Yeah, not really sure here. I think I would still go Philippines because I feel like there are more places in the Philippines that look like that, but it's really got me considering. It does. Yeah, I'm just trying to feel like I don't really have the best gauge for Philippines architecture, I feel like. At least I know this one's not Colombia. I'll be very surprised if it's Colombia. We got a red flag there. No idea what that would mean. So foliage and everything. I feel like I like Philippines better just slightly. Let's see it. And it was actually, ooh, in Nias. That's interesting. Obviously, Sulawesi would have given us the correct answer there. But we would have been very, very far away indeed. So a very unique round there, and definitely difficult, that's for sure. Next one here, we got the orange reflectors inside the guardrail. And some interesting hills in the background here. It feels African, but I'm pretty sure it can't be. These orange guardrail reflectors, probably just putting us in Mexico or something, I guess. Yeah, double guardrails are often common there as well, so I'll go for it. Was in Sinaloa there. Next one here, feeling a bit like Bangladesh-like, I would say, with the car driving left. Do we have a Bangladesh license plate? Maybe. But regardless, we have like a lot of fields here. It does feel good for it. Could be other places, but I'm just going to go for it. And okay, was actually in Java there. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, one thing I was a bit concerned about on that round is that like the air pollution wasn't there. Normally you have at least some air pollution in Bangladesh, one of the most polluted countries in the world. But here we go for a new round, and it looks like Australia, surely, with these eucalyptus trees. I'm trying to figure out where it would be, though. Probably somewhere in Queensland, but then I'm not really sure where. Maybe around Mackay could work here. And, oh, it was just near Bowen there. probably said the name of the place, but yeah, it's okay. Next round here, Baltic Roulette, or somewhere in the nearby countries. I would say this is actually Finland. I don't know, just something about the road and the crops here and stuff like that feels a bit more Finnish. I'll give it a go here. Could be wrong. And it was Finnish. Very nice. Very good. Next one here, feeling a bit like America to me, but it could still be other places too. We got yellow inner lines here, which of course would remind you of the US, but then something about the round is a bit strange, like the curb feels a bit European or something like that, the way it's a bit overgrown. But we have bollards on inside the guardrail, so surely it is the US. It just gives me a strangely like, it almost feels like Bulgaria or something like that. But yeah, I think the yellow lines would say it's not, so we probably just go US here. Now, Canada is possible. If it was Canada, I would kind of be thinking of like Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, but given the fact that I think I would have seen this road before if it was Canada, whereas US is obviously much better covered. So I think I'll just go New England here. Now, prepared for this to be like really wrong somehow. It is possible to me that this is just a really wrong guess, but I just can't put my finger on what it would be if it was overseas. So I'm just going to go for US here, and it was just outside of Boston there. Makes sense to me. Next one here, Irish or British, and I would say of the two, the Ireland probably makes a little bit more sense here. Let's go in Cork and call it a day. And it was actually near Belfast there in Larne. So yeah, obviously that doesn't get us the country. Rather unfortunate, but I don't really know what I could have done there. I was zooming into Chile here. Now I think it's actually Baltic maybe, but I'm not really sure. Like obviously Chile has the advantage of being one country, whereas the Baltics we have to plonk correctly. Out of the Baltics I might go Latvia here. Let's try it. And it was actually Latvia. Well, there you go. We actually won for once. And we get 22,000 points there. But we did miss the country on Ireland. So instead of being on 5, we're on 1, which is obviously a little annoying. Next one here. This almost felt like one of those South African forests that look like this. But it could be... Ooh. This is exposing my rustiness around like this. What is this? Is it Thailand? Thailand's my first thought. This fence feels a bit maybe South American or something. In which case it would probably just be Brazil, right? But then I guess like Ghana is possible. I'm not really sure how many like tree plantations like this you have in Ghana, but something about the whole landscape reminds me a bit of that. Sri Lanka also possible here, although again, not really sure about how many tree plantations they have there. This is a confusing one. Sun seems to be a bit southern, so maybe a bit northern hemisphere would make us. Cambodia also possible here. Maybe I like Cambodia, Thailand here the best, I think. But maybe just on the Thai side of the border. Yeah, Ghana possible too still. I'll just try Thailand here though. And it was actually Brazil. So we weren't northern hemisphere at all, which is annoying, but that's okay. Next one here. I don't know, this immediately felt like Philippines or Indonesia, maybe even Malaysia here. And we have English. It says board there. And it says barangay as well, which is only found in the Philippines. So... maybe just southern somewhere here. I'm not really sure what this would be. And it is southern indeed. Yeah, I got the vibe there. It just kind of felt like Indonesia, so makes sense that it's all the way down south. Next one here we have an Italian number plate. This feels like fairly southern Italy, something like this. And it is kind of just the middle. Next one here, we got like a big ditch here with a lot of palms, quite flat, like agricultural. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to shake the feeling in my head that this could be like this part of Mexico where you get these big ditches. But it's probably just the Philippines, if we're honest. Or Colombia, as we know. I love to confuse those countries with one another. So maybe I should just go Colombia. I don't know. Maybe I should, honestly. If I thought of Philippines, I think my meta is to go Colombia on this map from now on. Although these do kind of look like rice fields. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I think they're rice fields, actually. I gotta go, like, Indo or Philippines, and I think I'll go Philippines. I'm gonna regret it, guys. Let's see. It was Philippines. Nice, let's go. I don't know why I didn't go north there as well. Kind of a bad guess. Okay, next one here. I was gonna say it was Brazil based on the poll in this little box here, but we got a yellow number plate over here, so should just be happy to go in Colombia. Let's just go for it here and see what it is. It is Colombia. Okay. How many did we get right there? We are on like a 4-country streak, I think. Yeah, so that's at least something. We have not gotten up on this episode so far. To be fair, I haven't played this mode in a while. This is surely Brazil. Red dirt, kind of big highway. That would probably put you in like Sao Paulo or something like that. I was actually in Goiás. That makes sense though. Next one here, we got the kind of black sticker that you typically find in Malaysia. Okay, we got like very small text. Very small text like that is often found in the state of Kelantan, so we'll try it here, and it was Kelantan. Very nice indeed. Next one here, we've got Argentinian signage here, I believe. Could also be in Chile. Can you find that signage in Chile? Maybe. I think it's actually Argentinian side of the border here, though. Just looks very Chilean, so maybe somewhere around this town here, San Carlos, where you get a lot of that very Chilean-looking landscape in Argentina. So I'll just go for it here. And, ooh, we were just on the border, yeah. Definitely makes sense. I've definitely, like, looked at that road before, so it makes sense. But it's good to know that's north of San Carlos, the number 231 there. Okay, interesting. Next one here. Okay, we're starting to build a streak here. We're on 7. This is very gettable, so let me think. I think it's just South Africa, because this hill kind of looks a bit Lesotho-like. But this big ditch here is a bit weird for South Africa. I don't think it's that common to see. Almost feels a bit like Peruvian or something like that. Having said that, we got like some double poles in the background here. These double poles would be more South African than anything else I can think of to fit here. So yeah, I think I'm happy to go for it. Yeah, as I said, a little bit strange in terms of the infrastructure here, but surely it fits better than anything else with that double pole. I believe so. So I'm just going to go for it here. And it was the Lesotho indeed. Kind of had that Lesotho vibe. Next one here. Interesting signage here. This is surely something. The round itself almost has a bit of a US vibe here. But then again, also kind of looks like Poland or Lithuania, especially with this house here. So I'm wondering what's the meaning of that house, honestly. Like, honestly, this just looks like Europe, but the only thing that, like, gives me a strong reservation is this water tank here. It just looks like the most American thing ever. But I think, and like, it almost looks like we've got some barns, in a way. But the rest of the scene does not fit for US, surely. So, like, options here, I kind of thought of, like, Ukraine, Poland, Lithuania kind of vibe here. Out of those ones, I think I would prefer Poland, even though it seems like we're on a dirt road. So dirt road would say more Lithuania, but the vibe of the whole round does feel a bit more Polish to me. So I feel like it's probably somewhere near that border anyway. And I just hope it's not USA here, because that's going to be a bit embarrassing. I mean, surely this sign feels a bit more American as well, but the house is just too strange for the US. I don't know. It can be US. It's, oh man, what if it's even Canada? It's a bit concerning, I must admit. But I don't even know what, like, this signpost is weird as well. Like, we got this really old, like, fence here, really old, like, little, like, a kind of like stream here. So I just don't think USA is compelling enough, I guess. I have to go for Poland here. And it was Poland. Wow. Yeah, as I said, that border, that's kind of where I thought it would be. Didn't guess there, apparently. But, yeah, we're on 9 now. So that's actually a really good streak already. Let's see if we can turn this into world record. Would obviously be quite unlikely, but let's see if we can make it happen. Next round here. Ooh, that's Turkish. This is a Turkish style of pole. Now, can we get a nice guess here? To me, I would actually say that this is, like, right in the center of the country. We'll see if I'm right. Okay, it was Ankara. Makes sense. I was going to say I was going to go there, but, you know, I was probably going to go everywhere in the country, wasn't I? Next round here. This is deceptively difficult. Well, not deceptively difficult. Obviously, we're staring at a very difficult round here, but I wanted to actually say deceptively simple in the sense we could just go for USA and hope for the best, or could just go Canada and hope for the best instead of worrying about all the European possibilities here. Maybe the Canadian option is low-key kind of good here. USA also works nicely. It's probably Europe, but what hope do we have of getting it right if it's Europe? If it was Europe, I would be thinking, like, maybe Poland again. I could see France working quite nicely here. Maybe even Sweden or something like that. I'm not really sure. Maybe these trees are a bit too southern for Sweden. Could be the case, I'm not really sure. UK also works quite nicely here. But yeah, I think I would go for US or Canada just because of the law of probability. Of the two, I think it looks more Canadian, but again, if we want to play pure probabilities, then there's a lot of places in the US that also look like this. So maybe US is actually the play. Yeah, I feel like it. I feel like, it has to be northern US, so yeah, overall, I think I would just go US here. I think it's just slightly better. We'll see. It's probably just Europe, so there's nothing better than just go for it and see what it is. And it was indeed Russia. Okay, obviously if you're playing law of averages, Russia is not a bad guess on a round like that. However, how I'm meant to think of this, I'm not really sure. That's about impossible in my books, or at least highly unlikely. So let's just finish out the seed here, see what we would have gotten next. This one would have been a pretty straightforward round. Turkey, we got like a Turkish kilometer marker here. So I even thought of maybe like this stuff over here. Is that possible? Probably not mountainous enough, but I'll give it a go. And it was just further over to the west there. The next one would have been a fairly, I think this is New Zealand. Just like initial vibe is New Zealand. We also have some north-ish, so we'll just go New Zealand here. And it was indeed. Okay, that would have been nice. We would have been on 13 potentially. The next one here is more difficult again. Now, we probably would have lost the streak here. That's a European car. Looks like maybe a BMW, although I could be wrong about that. And yeah, it's interesting. It could be like Finland. But I'm thinking more Eastern Europe kind of vibe here. So maybe Czechoslovakia. We got like a very square. Oh, look at that pole top. That's a bit Russian feeling. Though, I don't think this is Russia, so maybe Ukraine or Lithuania, or even Estonia. And look at this house. Oh, I'm just seeing this house now. Okay, so maybe not at all. This house is like Germanic architecture. So, I don't think it's Austria. I could see Slovenia, but again, Slovenia feels a bit strange. Surely this is not Switzerland. But, I mean, the house looks Swiss. So that like really makes it a bit of a strange round here. Maybe even Italy. Honestly, could be Italy. It's something up here, and I don't recognize the pole top. I think Slovenia doesn't quite feel right, but I can't really think of anything better, so I might just go for that. Yeah, I think if I combine all the vibes, like it gives me a bit of Polish feel, but with like Germanic architecture. It's like, okay, this is like Czechia, Austria, Slovenia, Italy for my money, but like Czechia and Slovenia being the most likely, maybe even Czechia being better. No, I'm gonna say Czechia. I'm gonna say that is like the Germanic architecture, sort of far west. We've got a beamer, and we've got like kind of like a cobblestone-ish kind of overgrown footpath here. It feels better to go here, I think. And yeah, let's check it. I mean, other side of the country. But we would have been on obviously we're on a further 3. We may as well play it out here. But that would have placed us on a good 15 here or something like that. So that would have been nice. Next one would have been a free-ish Japan here. Feels kind of strange. So I wonder if it's like some kind of an island here. And it is one of those islands. Very nice. Next one here would just be Argentina or Bolivia. Feels more Arge to me. I think I would just go for it here. And it was indeed. Oh man, we would have had a nice streak here. Hey, why does it say we're only on 2? We should be on more. We didn't lose any, did we? I'll go back and look at the last seed if we happen to get far here. So we could probably work this one out as well. Maybe we will. It feels kind of like Indonesia or something like that, right? That's interesting. Ooh. Thailand also came to mind here for sure. There's a lot of palms. I still think Thailand's actually maybe the better shout here. Indonesia or Thailand fit in the best, yeah. For the sake of brevity, I will just go Thailand and we'll see if we're correct or not. And it was Thailand there, very nice. Okay, what are we on here? We are the country streak ticker is actually going a bit strange at the moment, but yeah. And this is probably where we would have ended it all. And this is where it probably would have ended, I mean to say. And yeah, I mean, like, probably, I think it's a bit, it doesn't quite feel right for Poland, even though it kind of looks like it. And so maybe, like, Denmark, or, like, something over here. It kind of felt like a bit Germany-like, so maybe Netherlands, Belgium as well, all possible. I might try Denmark. I kind of like that idea. Although the very tall apple tree here is maybe a bit further southern feeling. So maybe that would put us Czechia again or something like that. I could see Czechia working quite nicely here, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll just go Czechia again. Let's see it. And it was Czechia. But I've had the absolute soul reads on Czechia today. It's actually mad. And the country streak script is not working, so I actually don't know what we're on right now. This little green thing here on the guardrail, does it feel a bit like Canada? Although it might be set up for left-hand drive, so maybe this is like Ireland or the UK or something. Maybe the UK fits nicely here. Yeah, I don't know. We have like, do we have slight gaps in the road lines here? I'm not sure. And we have like a bit of a very pink road in the corner of the screen here. I don't really know what that would necessarily mean. Obviously this is really low info, but I think I would go UK here, right? Oh, well, we've already gone longer than I thought we would anyway, so I'll just give UK a go, and if it's right, it's right. We'll see. And, oh man, it's just over in France. I think the pink road makes much more sense for France there. So we were on 10. Then if we got the Russia right, we would have had 11, 12, 13, 14, and then 15, 16, 17, 18, and that would have been our all-time best. Was France, which was a gettable one, to be fair. So you never know where we could have gone with that one, but it was a pretty good round overall. Actually, started off pretty mid that episode, but ended off on a high note for sure. And I mean, we can get that world record. We just need the right kind of seeds and the right kind of luck. But guys, thank you very much for watching the video all the way to the end. Give it a like if you enjoyed it. More Rainbolt videos coming soon. And until then, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.